Hi Krishna everybody, this is your servant Aniruddha Das with In the Loop update. I'd like to thank a few devotees in this episode for the services that they performed over the last year, and some of them over many years. First of all, I'd like to highlight the service of Yogeshwar Govinda Prabhu, who's overseen the cooking of all of our major events over the last year in circumstances that have been very challenging. We've been moving our events off-site. In the case of Janmashtami, for example, there was an extra location. So we had 4 locations for which we had to provide prasadam for, plus the events that took place off-site. With the increased number of guests, it hasn't been easy to manage all of the cooking for those festivities over the last year and probably longer. Yogi's been working in that area for many years, initially supporting Jai Sachi, and of late he took over the responsibility of managing many feasts. We've decided to share the responsibility of managing the cooking for the events, but we should take note of and recognise the sacrifices that Yogi and his team have made, especially in this challenging period where our numbers have increased and we've had to shift events off-site. So thank you, Yogeshwar Govinda and your crew, for the sterling prasadam distribution efforts that you've engaged in for many years, but especially over this last year. Another person I'd like to, well, 2 people actually, Ruchi Rani and Nisha, working in member services, making sure that the donations and campaigning for those donations has been run smoothly. Hasn't been easy this year. We're transitioning from our old software to a new software package. They've been maintaining all of our fundraising activities throughout the course of that transition, which hasn't been easy. We're almost at the end of that migration, but really like to thank Ruchi and Nisha for their efforts. Another sterling achiever in the prasadam distribution area is Rajiv Khosla, who manages prasadam distribution on Saturdays and Sundays at the temple. Not an easy task. That's a huge responsibility, and Raj does that week in, week out. I know from personal experience, one of the first major services that I took on was being the Sunday, well, in those days we only had the Sunday feast, and the number of people that were attending the temple would have been 200 or 300 at the most. Now we've got 800 to 1,200 coming on a Saturday and a Sunday during the summer months. So I really appreciate the effort that Raj puts in coordinating all of the prasadam distribution and the challenges that often presents. Thank you, Raj, for a sterling effort in distributing prasadam on the weekends. I'd also like to mention Bhakti Sar. Bhakti Sar asked if he could come back to Melbourne after having spent some time in New Zealand and in India. And we made it a condition. Yep, you're welcome to come back, but you've got to manage prasadam distribution. A service for which we didn't have one key coordinator. So Bhakti Sar has come back to Melbourne. He's a wonderful scholar. He's a very good teacher, a very good educator. It runs in the family. His mum and dad are both teachers. So he's following in their footsteps. And in the meantime, he's also coordinating the Mahaprasadam distribution at the temple. Also another challenging task for which we are grateful for his participation, his enthusiasm for the service, and his focus on organising things very nicely, seeing that everybody upholds the standards of Prasadam distribution and, of course, making sure that people get fed. I'd also like to mention 3 devotees who are currently not in Melbourne at the moment, but are serving at a camp near Bendigo. They're doing the catering for the Buddhist Association retreat, which has been going on for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I think they've got another week to go. That's Gokulavasi, Vijay, and Rasikendra. They're providing 3 meals a day to the attendees at that Buddhist retreat. That's a sizable catering job for us, a sizable amount of income for us, and quite a bit of austerity for them, being away for the temple for so long and really working hard every day to ensure that everybody there gets breakfast, lunch and dinner to the expectations of our customers who love the prasadam and are glorifying every meal that they have at the Buddhist retreat. So thanks, Golokavasi, Vijay and Rasikendra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna